What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you are having an amazing Sunday. This is the Love and Marriage Huntsville recap, season 6, episode 23, Holt Her Accountable. So it picks up right where the last one left off, right? So Melody is definitely in her executive producer bag. She pulls up while Keke and Amin are getting stuff together to move into a new house, into a new school district for their son, who is, a student athlete, and they want to give him the best opportunity that they can in regards to scholarships. So they're moving to a different school district. And so Mel pulls up and, she asked Keke to basically take a drug test in order to shut down all the haters and, Marcel and everybody who is directly attributing her hostile behavior, right? Flinging a drink in her cousin Tisha's face at the cookout, that it's directly related to her drug use, past drug use. And so Mel, she is like I said, she's definitely in her executive producer bag this season. She just pulls up. She's like, yeah, I just happen to have one here. So Keke goes into the bathroom there at the storage unit facility. And, the good news is the test comes out all negative, right? She's negative for everything, which good on you, Keke. Congratulations on your sobriety and continue the good work. Um, but yeah, Mel, she does. She cracks me up because nobody pulls up at a storage unit with a drug test in hand except Melody Cherie Rogers. Okay, and I'll touch on more of that in a little bit. So then we go to the Tisha and Marsau, right? So they are packing for a 5-day beach vacation, which Marcel, I don't know, like I said, if he's pretending or if he is really that negligent. I can't ever tell with him. I'm gonna guess that he's probably that negligent, looking back and thinking back on past seasons, like when he would be left alone, the rare times, right, that Tisha would go out and with Melody or whoever in the past. And, and the kids would tell him, that they're hungry, and he'd be like, "Oh, we'll go in there and make you something to eat." These were small kids. This was years ago, right? The kids looked like they were like under 10, and Marcel would be laying in bed. And I remember the one callback. The little boy said he wanted pancakes. I think that's Marcel Jr. And he's like, how do I do it in the oven? And Marcel's like, you can't put pancakes in the oven, but he didn't move to get out of bed. And so when Tisha came back from her business networking that she did with Melody, he was like, what's more important, you going to do business or a starving child? So maybe he is just that negligent. Um, he left his whole family to go to Africa by himself. So yeah, maybe he is just that neglectful as a parent. But anyway, so he's like, well, we can't leave for 5 days, babe. Like, what's going on? And she's like, well, you're going to have to go in there and tell Mila that then, because I've already told her that we're going to go away for 5 days for a beach vacation. Now, on one hand, right, again, like I said, I don't know if he's just playing up for the cameras and pretending that he didn't know, but children's birthdays typically don't need to be celebrated for a whole week, right? A whole business week. Beach vacation is usually a day trip, right? That would be really nice if they could, or spend the night, get to spend the night back, have a hotel party, and then come back home the next day. Leave on a Friday or Saturday, come back Sunday. That would be my thought, especially if they're kids, right? Like they're still, I don't even think they're teenagers yet. So yeah, but Tisha, I feel like this trip is more for her than for her girls. So he eventually gives in. He's like, oh, okay, then they start talking about the cookout again. And I don't want to be a dead horse like they are continuously doing. So we're going to move on to Melody planning her name changing party, right? So shout out to Mel because, like I said, she's definitely, growing her business, getting honorary doctorates. And now she's planning her name change party. And this is her reading the official decree of her name change from Melody Cherie Holt back to her maiden name, Melody Cherie Rogers. And so, her mom Vanessa's there and her party planner is there and her mom starts crying. And it's sad because, I know like she's close with her mom. And, when parents and children have that close relationship, it's really hurtful for, her mom to see her go through so much because Martell is a narcissist through and through. And we see that later on in the episode, but he really did take her through a lot. And when you're dealing with narcissistic people, it wreaks havoc on your psyche, on your self-esteem, on your well-being. And so I'm so glad that she has reclaimed her own identity, going back to the Rogers name. And she said that the world met her when she was still a Holt, but she wants to reintroduce her name, reintroduce herself as her maiden name, Rogers. So I love that. Okay, so here are the ladies meeting up with Melody's personal trainer. So they said when Tisha first came in, her energy was a bit off. And then Kimmi, she pulls up and Kimmi says, she wants to check on Tisha, and she's like, well, Tisha, what's wrong? And this is just when she's getting out the car. They haven't even gone in yet. Tisha's like, oh, I'm fine. So they're working out, and Mel's telling the trainer like, my friend here has just gone through an ordeal. She doesn't, specify what it is, which is good, right? Kimmi is a nurse, but more than that, with just protecting your friend's medical history and HIPAA and all that good stuff. You don't want to tell other people's business, but you do want to be mindful that she knows she's been going through a major medical ordeal. So the trainer says, we'll just, make sure you just take it easy, listen to your body. And Kimmi, she agrees. She says, I know my limits pretty much. So the ladies are working out, getting it together. I appreciate that. And then after the workout, they sit down and they try to talk with Tisha about what happened at the cookout and about her relationship with Keke. But Tisha, she shuts down and she's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm fine. And then Mel kind of presses a little bit more, and then Tisha just leaves. She's like, all right, well, I'm out of here. I'm about to go to the beach with my family. Peace out. I'm gone. And Mel and Kimmi are like, yeah, it's still a problem. It's still, raw and fresh in Tisha's mind. And you can tell there's a lot of hurt there, So, and that Tisha she didn't have the bandwidth to talk about it. You know what I mean? At that time. Okay, so moving on to Stormy and Keke. So a few things here, right? So Stormy comes up and they are talking about, what happened at the cookout. And I'm glad that Keke apologized for, essentially like snatching the cards out of Stormy's hand. And, because Stormy was just, she was just trying to play spades. She's like, now how did I get in it? Now see y'all get on and stuff. I ain't even did nothing. But she did apologize. So that was, again, good on Keke. And then they start talking about Tiffany. And Tiffany is someone that you can tell, I feel like her upbringing seeps through her personality, right? Because Stormy was relaying the fact that, Tiffany was asking about, why did Keke move? And then they brought up her interview with Carlos King. And basically, just saying like, oh, well, are we not better than this? Like she was just, having, shots and digs at Keke. And so they basically called her Karen, right? And I can definitely, again, like I said, tell that she was raised by her mom's side of the family because she does act like that oftentimes. Whether I don't think she recognizes it, but it definitely comes out in her interactions with the women on the show. So then Keke asked Stormy if she gave her some hair products. And Stormy's like, yeah, I gave her like a gift basket, just trying to be helpful. So Keke was like, well, Tiffany, said that she didn't feel comfortable and didn't think the products were safe. And Stormy was like, really? Like she was like so surprised and taken back. She's like, Tiffany, wow, because when someone gives you a gift, even if you don't necessarily like it or whatever, you wouldn't disparage the gift that somebody gave you. I mean, you could re-gift it to someone else. If you truly didn't think it was safe, you could just toss it and, just be thankful for the gesture, right? But not Tiffany. Tiffany wants to throw jabs at, these women whenever they can. So I don't know if it's a jealousy issue. She's intimidated. It's her own insecurities. I don't know what it is, but she is, she definitely has negative things to say all of the time. And speaking of walking, talking negativity, we end the episode with our good friend, Martel, who is the quintessential mess and a half. Okay, so he goes and visits Nell Fletcher at her home, and Chris has gone to the office for business. So they begin to talk, and Nell lets him know that Melody is going to have a name change party. So of course, Martell makes it all about him. The only reason I'm laughing is because this dude is a clown. Like, yes, he's a narcissist, right? I don't know how people can keep a straight face. I'm sorry, because yeah, I would just laugh him into the ground. So he's like, it's like a slap in the face to me, and blah blah blah. They've been divorced for years. If she wants to have a party to celebrate herself for any reason, right? Because it's Tuesday, she should do so, and he should have nothing to say. But again, he can't let that control go because of that narcissism. So, he's making it all about him and gets upset. And he's like, I want to know the people who are there. Again, for what? It's her party. It's her party, and she can do what she wants to. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I can't wait for next week. I will talk with you later. Have a great weekend, Aces. Take care. Bye.